Yeah. I have to say, first of all, like this, almost enough to make up for losing all the live shows. There we are. Hold on. I'm trying to get set up on Instagram. Here we go. Hey. Almost making up for losing access to all the live shows is all the music that's been online. It's been so amazing, both local artists and national people. So that's some consolation for being stuck at home. So I'm Neil Kohl. I'm a photographer. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. A lot of my current work is doing social media for organizations that are protesting, working for social justice. I have several ongoing projects documenting changes in the neighborhood, and I've lived in Northern Liberties for years. But a lot of my most recent work is kind of quarantine centric. And none of us wants to look at that right now. It's something that I'm going to keep shooting and put in a box. And then when this is all over, we can think about it and look at it and remember how horrible it was. So what I decided to do was to go into my archive and pull some stuff out, which hopefully will take your mind off of all of this stuff. I grew up in Philadelphia in the Northeast. And I've been taking pictures since I was a child. I got a camera as a prize at summer camp, and in middle school I learned how to develop film and make prints. In high school, my father got a nice 35mm camera, and I started using that, and he was a little pissed off that I was using it, so I saved up money for my deli job and got an Olympus. And so I've basically been carrying a camera for most of my life. I'm a complete introvert. I'm not outgoing, and the camera was a very convenient place to hide behind. So let me share my screen here. There we go. And let's see if I can get this on Instagram as well. Hey. All right, look, it works. So when I was in high school, I took pictures for myself. I also took pictures for the yearbook. And when I graduated, I noticed that a lot of the pictures in the yearbook or from previous yearbooks were sitting in boxes, and the boxes were falling apart, and they were basically going to be thrown away. So what I did was I grabbed all the negatives from my year. So what I have is boxes and boxes of prints. I have, let's see, I have boxes and boxes of negatives and contact sheets. And today, what I'm going to show is a selection of work from high school, from the 80s, from George Washington High School. It's maybe a bit of photo ethnography, a little particular slice of life of that particular period in time. Maybe it's a lookbook for 80s fashions, if you're into that kind of thing, or fashion faux pas to avoid if you're not into that thing. For me, it's a horror movie that I've seen over and over again. So yeah, let's just dive in. This is me with my brand new Olympus OM1 that I was so proud of. I took the requisite mirror selfie. And then somebody caught me when I was in action with my giant flash. So this is kind of what I was doing. In Philadelphia public schools used to be good in that there were a lot of elective classes, and these are pictures that were taken in my photography class where I learned lighting and more advanced techniques in photography. I was also lucky to have a mentor who was also a teacher, and you can see him there with his Bronica, but he both taught me more about photography and encouraged me to keep going. The high school I went to had about 4,000 people at the time I went. I think there's only around 2,000 now. It was primarily Catholic kids who lived on one side of Bustleton Avenue and Jewish kids who lived on the other side of Bustleton Avenue. It was a pretty volatile mix. So the other thing is there are things that were going on in high school that you couldn't get away with now. Here we are in school with a bottle of Southern Comfort. And I'm basically following my friends around as they take this bottle through the school. And we end up giving it to a teacher, which I'm not sure what was going on there, why we did it. But anyway, that was the kind of stuff that went on. So here are some of the fashions and things that we had in high school. There were mom jeans, there were sweats, 3/4 sleeve baseball t-shirts were incredibly popular. And apparently Asia was touring that year because everybody has Asia t-shirts on. There were preppies with the tennis look. I always did my own thing. Puffy paint on sweatshirts. And gold chains were always popular in my school. The hair was absolutely spectacular.
I feel like a lot of these hairstyles are coming back.
Yeah, it's kind of a little scary for me, actually. These members only jackets were incredibly popular, and there's pop collars. But yeah, the feathered hair is just, parted in the middle. It's a little too much.
I like it. I'm waiting for big hair to come back.
I don't know, it seems like a lot of work.
It really wasn't. Army jackets were still popular with a certain contingent. Another members only jacket. So this kid must have been rich because he has a Walkman. And this one too. Look at how big this thing is. And we have some teacher style going on here.
So I'm noticing from watching the Instagram and the Zoom at the same time that Zoom loads pictures a little bit slower.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is the principle.
So you showed some pictures that were of a like photo lighting class. Did you have a class in school that was like photography 101? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the basics of lighting and photography. Yeah.
That's cool. I never learned the basics of lighting or photography. I just kind of started.
The interesting thing about it is you can do the really advanced lighting with some basic stuff. Just light bulbs and reflectors, the kind of stuff you can get at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
The girls' bathroom was apparently well decorated.
Yeah. Wow. I'd pee in there.
And here we have antique technology. We have a payphone and typing class.
Wow. Word processors.
Right. Very basic word processors.
Natalie's asking, how popular were the photo classes?
Not super popular. It was easy to get into. So we actually had computers, as you can see here. These were hard classes to get into. We have art classes. I was actually mistakenly in my art class, and I ended up being a model for a couple of weeks until they fixed my schedule. We would shop.
Yeah, Zoom's not loading my photos right now. Oh, there it goes. It gets a little backed up.
I would guess that probably around 1% of the 4,000 people in the class were African American through desegregation initiatives. And it was, like I said, it was a really volatile mix between culture and class and race. It was occasionally very messy.
I didn't see that. Where's George Washington High School again?
It is in the far northeast at Busselton Avenue and Veree Road. I lived literally 2 blocks away from school, which was pretty dangerous because my parents left for work before I had to leave for school.
Ooh.
I have a lot of pictures of television sets.
Yeah.
Oh, video games?
That's what was important at that time.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a screen capture.
This was screen capture.
Yeah. You just have to write some inspirational things and they're memes.
Right, yeah. This was the beginning of punk culture. By the middle of the 80s, I had shaved my head and had completely changed. And by the end of the 80s, I had really long hair. So like I said, I did my own thing.
It was a transformative time for everybody.
Yeah. I did my own thing.
So are these a combination of the negatives you took, or are these your photos specifically?
It's a combination.
Okay.
Some of these are personal, and some of these I shot for the yearbook, and some of these are things that other people shot for the yearbook.
Yeah, okay. Do you think they're all around, excuse me, the time of your class? Like, do you remember a lot of these people or recognize?
I am still in touch with several of these people.
Wow.
The people who left the Northeast, I'm still friends with. The ones who stayed there don't want to know. But yeah, a number of these people are kind of my long-term longitudinal project of documenting them. We still meet up every Saturday for breakfast.
Yeah?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's been Zoom the past month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you meet up? Do you go different places or go to like the same place every time?
Nah, we go to the Reading Terminal. We go to a couple different places. So.
Wow, that Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah, this is the end. This pretty much sums up my high school experience here, which is
that's amazing.
Somewhere between cutesy and terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this picture. They're like almost twin. Are they related? I can't tell.
No.
They look similar enough, maybe because of the shirts and the cigarette.
Yeah.
But it's like a little bit creepy that they're both the evil twin, maybe, but one of them smiling 17, a little bit more.
17 going on 40.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like that one. Do you know those two?
I do not know these people. Unfortunately, my graduating class was 900 people.
Ooh.
So I know a lot of people, but not all of them.
But do you think if you put out feelers, you could find who these two are?
Yes, I probably could.
Oh man, I love it. This is definitely one of my favorites. Francis is asking about the guy with the shovel that looked like he was digging under.
You know, there was a series of pictures of these guys. It was under the stadium, the football stadium. So that's where the bodies are buried? I don't know.
All right, we'll look there first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing all of these.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have your stuff up on a website, or where's the best place to look at? Like,
geez, my website is kohlweb.com. I can type it in the chat. And my Insta is xnedski. So yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Well, yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming to this.
Sure.